What if I told you that Triple H just made a move that nobody saw coming? What if I told you that the Royal Rumble 2026 wasn't just about who won the match, but about who walked through the doors of WWE immediately after? And what if I told you that Powerhouse Hobbs, the absolute freight train from AEW, is now officially a member of the WWE roster? Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't speculation. This isn't fantasy booking. This is real, and it's happening right now. Triple H just dropped a bombshell that has the entire wrestling world losing their minds, and if you haven't heard about this yet, you need to buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind. The Royal Rumble just happened, and while everyone was focused on the chaos in the ring, on the surprises, on the eliminations, and on who would punch their ticket to WrestleMania, nobody was prepared for what came next. Because after the dust settled, after the confetti fell, and after the celebrations wrapped up, Triple H stepped out and made an announcement that sent shockwaves through every arena, every locker room, and every wrestling fan's timeline. Powerhouse Hobbs is coming to WWE. And this isn't just some random signing. This is a statement. This is Triple H saying that WWE is taking over, that the competition better watch out, and that the landscape of professional wrestling just changed forever. Now, let me take you back for a second because to truly understand how massive this is, you have to understand who Powerhouse Hobbs is. This man is not just another wrestler. He's not just another big guy. Hobbs is a 6'2", 270-pound wrecking ball who has been tearing through everything in his path. From the moment he stepped into a wrestling ring, people knew he was different. There was an intensity in his eyes, a raw power in his movements, and an undeniable presence that made you stop and pay attention. He's the kind of guy who walks into a room and everyone immediately knows he's the most dangerous person there. Over in AEW, Hobbs made a name for himself by absolutely dominating. Whether it was throwing opponents around like ragdolls, delivering spine-shattering spine-buster slams, or hitting the devastating world's strongest slam, Hobbs became one of the most feared competitors in the company. Fans would chant his name. Commentators would talk about him with a mixture of awe and fear. And wrestlers? They knew that if they were standing across the ring from Powerhouse Hobbs, they were in for the fight of their lives. He was a member of Team Taz, he battled some of the biggest names in the business, and every single time he stepped through those ropes, he proved why he deserved to be at the top. But here's the thing. Even with all that success, even with all those incredible moments, there was always this feeling that Hobbs was destined for something bigger. There was always this sense that he was just scratching the surface of his potential. And Triple H saw that. The Game, the cerebral assassin, the man who is now running the biggest wrestling company on the planet, saw Powerhouse Hobbs and knew exactly what he could become. So when the opportunity came, when the stars aligned, Triple H didn't hesitate. He pulled the trigger and brought Hobbs into WWE. And the way this all went down? Absolutely perfect. The Royal Rumble had just ended. The crowd was still buzzing. Everyone was talking about the matches, the surprises, the drama. And then, out of nowhere, Triple H's music hits. The audience erupts because they know that when Triple H comes out after a major event, something big is about to happen. He walks down to the ring with that confident swagger, that knowing smile, and you can just feel the anticipation building. He grabs the microphone, looks out at the thousands of fans packed into the arena, and he says something that nobody expected. He talks about the future of WWE. He talks about evolution. He talks about bringing in the best talent in the world to make WWE the undisputed king of professional wrestling. And then he says the name, Powerhouse Hobbs. The crowd loses it. Some people are cheering. Some people are in complete shock. Some people are pulling out their phones trying to make sure they heard that correctly. And before anyone can even process what's happening, the lights go out. The arena goes pitch black. You can hear the murmur of confusion rippling through the audience. And then, a new theme song hits. It's powerful. It's aggressive. It's unmistakably Powerhouse Hobbs. The lights come back on, and there he is, standing at the top of the ramp, looking out at the WWE Universe for the very first time as a member of the roster. The place absolutely explodes. Flashbulbs are going off everywhere. Fans are on their feet. And Hobbs just stands there, soaking it all in, before slowly making his way down to the ring. He steps over the top rope like it's nothing, stands face to face with Triple H, and the two of them shake hands. It's a moment of respect. It's a moment of acknowledgement. It's Triple H saying, "Welcome to the big leagues," and it's Hobbs saying, "I'm ready to take over." The crowd is going absolutely insane. Social media is exploding. Wrestlers backstage are watching on monitors with their jaws on the floor, because everyone knows what this means. Everyone knows that WWE just got a whole lot more dangerous. Now, let's talk about what this signing means for WWE. Triple H has been on an absolute tear since taking over creative control. He's brought back legends, he's elevated young talent, he's created compelling storylines, and he's made WWE must-watch television again. But this is next level. By bringing in Powerhouse Hobbs, Triple H is sending a message to every wrestling company out there. He's saying that WWE is the place to be. He's saying that if you want to compete at the highest level, if you want to perform on the grandest stage, if you want to be part of something truly special, then WWE is where you belong. And for Hobbs, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is his chance to show the world what he's truly capable of. Think about the possibilities. Think about Powerhouse Hobbs going head-to-head with Roman Reigns. Think about him facing off against Gunther in a battle of pure strength and intensity. Think about him entering the ring with Brock Lesnar in a collision that would shake the very foundation of the arena. Think about him challenging Seth Rollins, squaring up with Drew McIntyre, or stepping into the Elimination Chamber with the best of the best. Every single one of those matches would be an absolute war, and every single one of those matches would be unforgettable. And it's not just about the matches. It's about the stories that can be told. Hobbs has this natural intensity, this believability, that makes everything he does feel real. When he's in the ring, you don't feel like you're watching a performance. You feel like you're watching a fight. You feel like something real is on the line. And in WWE, where storytelling is everything, that's invaluable. Triple H can build entire storylines around Hobbs. He can position him as an unstoppable force, a man who came to WWE with something to prove and won't stop until he's standing at the top of the mountain. He can create rivalries that have fans on the edge of their seats every single week, wondering what's going to happen next. And let's not forget about the fans. The WWE universe is already buzzing. Go on social media right now and you'll see it. People are freaking out. People are making dream match predictions. People are debating whether Hobbs should go to Raw or SmackDown. People are talking about whether he'll be a face or a heel, whether he'll join a faction or go it alone, whether he'll go straight for a championship or slowly build his way up. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone is invested. That's what you want. That's what makes wrestling great. When fans care, when fans are emotionally invested, that's when magic happens. But let's also talk about what this means for the locker room. Because bringing in someone like Powerhouse Hobbs isn't just about what he can do in the ring, it's about what he brings to the culture. Hobbs is known for his work ethic, his dedication, his hunger to improve and to succeed. He's the kind of guy who shows up early, stays late, and pushes himself to be better every single day. That mentality is contagious. When you have someone like that in the locker room, it raises the level of everyone around them. Younger wrestlers see that and realize what it takes to make it. Veterans see that and are reminded why they fell in love with this business in the first place. Hobbs isn't just going to be a star in WWE. He's going to help create more stars. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be wondering how this all came together. You might be curious about the behind-the-scenes negotiations, about what made Hobbs decide to make the jump, about how Triple H convinced him that WWE was the right move. And while we don't have all the details, here's what we do know. Triple H has been very strategic about who he brings into WWE. He's not just throwing money at big names. He's looking for people who fit the culture, who are hungry, who want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And Hobbs checks all those boxes. He's talented, he's motivated, and he's ready to prove that he belongs on the biggest stage in professional wrestling. There are also whispers that Hobbs had been feeling like he'd hit a ceiling where he was. He'd accomplished a lot, but he wanted more. He wanted to test himself against the best in the world. He wanted to perform in front of the biggest audiences. He wanted to be part of WrestleMania moments that would be remembered forever. And when Triple H came calling, when he laid out the vision for what Hobbs could be in WWE, it was an offer that was impossible to refuse. This is a partnership built on mutual respect, shared ambition, and a desire to create something truly special. And speaking of WrestleMania, can you imagine Powerhouse Hobbs at WrestleMania? Can you imagine him walking down that ramp, under those lights, with over 70,000 fans screaming, knowing that the entire world is watching? That's the dream. That's what every wrestler works their entire career for. And now, Hobbs has that opportunity. Whether it's this year, next year, or beyond, you know that Triple H has big plans for him. You know that he's going to be positioned as a major player. And you know that when his WrestleMania moment comes, it's going to be absolutely incredible. But it's not just about the future. It's about right now. It's about what happens next week on Raw or SmackDown. It's about who Hobbs is going to face first. It's about how he's going to be introduced to the WWE Universe in a more in-depth way. Is he going to cut a promo explaining why he came to WWE? Is he going to immediately attack someone and make a statement? Is he going to align himself with a faction or carve his own path? All of these questions are swirling around right now, and that's exactly what you want. That's anticipation. That's excitement. That's what gets people tuning in every single week. And let's be real for a second. This is also a huge win for Triple H personally. He's been proving doubters wrong left and right since taking over. People questioned whether he could handle the pressure, whether he could compete with other wrestling promotions, whether he could keep WWE on top. And time again, he's delivered. He's created compelling television. He's built new stars. He's brought back legends in meaningful ways. And now, he's landed one of the most sought-after free agents in wrestling. That's not luck. That's vision. That's execution. That's Triple H doing exactly what he said he would do. The wrestling world is changing, and WWE is leading that change. By bringing in Powerhouse Hobbs, by continuing to innovate, by listening to the fans and giving them what they want to see, WWE is cementing itself as the undisputed leader in professional wrestling. Other companies can try to compete, but when you have the resources, the platform, the history, and the creative vision that WWE has, it's hard to keep up. And with Triple H at the helm, making moves like this, the gap is only going to get wider. So what's next? What happens now that Powerhouse Hobbs is officially a member of the WWE roster? Honestly, the possibilities are endless. We could see him immediately inserted into a major storyline. We could see him go after a championship right away. We could see him feud with an established star to prove that he belongs. Or we could see him slowly build momentum, racking up victories, making a statement week after week until everyone in WWE knows that he's a force to be reckoned with. Whatever path Triple H chooses, you can bet it's going to be compelling. You can bet it's going to be must-see television. And you can bet that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to deliver every single time he steps into that ring. This is the beginning of something special. This is the start of a new chapter, not just for Powerhouse Hobbs, but for WWE as a whole. Triple H just made a power move, and the entire wrestling world is paying attention. Fans are excited. Wrestlers are nervous. And everyone is wondering what's going to happen next. That's the beauty of professional wrestling. That's why we love it. Because moments like this remind us that anything is possible, that surprises are always around the corner, and that the next big thing could happen at any moment. Powerhouse Hobbs is here. He's in WWE. And he's ready to take over. If you're as hyped about this as I am, make sure you let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think Hobbs should do first. Tell me who you want to see him face. Tell me if you think he's going to Raw or SmackDown. And if you love this breakdown, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest WWE news, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe because we've got so much more coming your way. This is history in the making, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Powerhouse Hobbs in WWE. Let's go.